Buddham Namah Dhammam Namah Sangham Namah.
Part 4. Enlightenment and the Vision of a New Way. 1. Meditation for New Light. 2. Enlightenment. 3. The Discovery of a New Dhamma. 4. Gautama, who was a Bodhisatta after Sammabodhi, becomes a Buddha. 1. Meditation for New Light. 1. Having refreshed himself with food, Gautama sat thinking over his past experiences. He realized that all paths had failed. 2. The failure was so complete that it could have led anyone into a state of frustration. He was, of course, sorry. But frustration as such did not touch him. 3. He was always hopeful of finding a way. So much so that on the night of the day on which he partook of the food sent by Sujata, Gautama had 5 dreams, and when he awoke he interpreted his dreams to mean that he was sure to attain enlightenment. 4. He had also tried to forecast his future. This he did by throwing the ball of food Sujata's maid brought into the river Naranja, saying, "If I am to have enlightenment, let the ball ascend the stream, if not, let it go down." The vessel, indeed, began to float against the current and at last sunk near the abode of Kala, a Naga king. 5. Fortified with hope and determination, he left Uruvela and towards evening went along the wide road to Gaya. There he saw a banyan tree. He thought of sitting under it in meditation in the hope of a new light dawning upon him and enabling him to find a way which would solve his problem. 6. After trying each of the 4 directions, he chose the east, which is always chosen by all the great sages for the removal of all defilements. 7. Gautama Saturday down cross-legged and upright under the banyan tree. Determined to achieve enlightenment, he said to himself, "Skin, sinew and bone may dry up as they will, my flesh and blood may dry in my body, but without attaining complete enlightenment I will not leave this seat." 8. Then Kala, the king of the Nagas, whose majesty was like the lord of elephants, and his wife Suvana Prabhasa, having been awakened by the vision of Gautama sitting under the banyan tree, uttered this in praise of him, being sure that he was destined to attain perfect knowledge. 9. Inasmuch as the earth, pressed down by thy feet, O sage, resounds repeatedly, and inasmuch as thy splendor shines forth like the sun, thou shalt assuredly reap the desired fruit. 10. Inasmuch as flocks of birds fluttering in the sky offer thee reverential salutation, O lotus-eyed one, and inasmuch as gentle breezes blow in the sky, thou shalt certainly attain thy object. 11. As he sat down for meditation, a crowd of evil thoughts and evil passions, mythologically called the children of Mara, Kama, which is another name for evil passions, entered his mind. 12. Gautama was greatly frightened lest they should overpower him and defeat his purpose. 13. He knew that in this battle with evil passions many rishis and Brahmins had succumbed. 14. So he summoned all the courage he had and said to Mara, "Faith is found in me, and heroism and wisdom. How can ye evil passions defeat me? The streams even of rivers may this wine dry up. Ye would be unable to dry up my resolutions when I am so intent. Better to me is death in battle than that I should be defeated in life." 15. The evil passions entered the mind of Gautama as a crow goes after a stone that looks like a hump of fat, thinking, "Surely, here I shall find a tender morsel. Here perchance is something sweet." 16. And finding no sweetness there, the crow departs thence. So like a crow attacking a rock, the evil passions left Gautama in disgust. 2. Enlightenment. 1. To feed himself. During the period of meditation, Gautama had collected enough food to last him for 40 days. 2. Having routed the evil thoughts that disturb his mind, Gautama refreshed himself with food and gained strength. He thus prepared himself for meditation with the aim of obtaining enlightenment. 3. It took Gautama 4 weeks of meditation to obtain enlightenment. He reached final enlightenment in 4 stages. 4. In the first stage he called forth reason and investigation. His seclusion helped him to attain it easily. 5. In the second stage he added concentration. 6. In the third stage he brought to his aid equanimity and mindfulness. 7. In the fourth and final stage he added purity to equanimity and equanimity to mindfulness. 8. Thus with mind concentrated, purified, spotless, with defilement gone, supple, dexterous, firm, impassionate, not forgetting what he is after, Gautama concentrated himself on the problem of finding an answer to the question which had troubled him. 9. On the night of the last day of the 4th week light dawned upon him. He realized that there were 2 problems. The first problem was that there was suffering in the world, and the second problem was how to remove this suffering and make mankind happy. 10. So in the end, after meditation for 4 weeks, darkness was dispelled, light arose, ignorance was dispelled and knowledge arose. He saw a new way. 3. The discovery of a new Dhamma. 1. Gautama, when he sat in meditation for getting new light, was greatly in the grip of the Sankhya philosophy. 2. That suffering and unhappiness in the world he thought was an incontrovertible fact. 3. Gautama was, however, interested in knowing how to do away with suffering. This problem the Sankhya philosophy did not deal with. 4. It is, therefore, on this problem, how to remove suffering and unhappiness, that he concentrated his mind. 5. Naturally, the first question he asked himself was, what are the causes of suffering and unhappiness which an individual undergoes? 6. His second question was, how to remove unhappiness? 7. To both these questions he got a right answer which is called Sammabodhi, right enlightenment. 8. It is because of this that the banyan tree has come to be known as the Bodhi tree. For Gautama, who was a Bodhisatta after Sammabodhi, becomes a Buddha. 1. Before enlightenment Gautama was only a Bodhisatta. It is after reaching enlightenment that he became a Buddha. 2. Who and what is a Bodhisatta? 3. A Bodhisatta is a person who is seeking to be a Buddha. 4. How does a Bodhisatta become a Buddha? 5. A Bodhisatta must be a Bodhisatta for 10 lives in succession. What must a Bodhisatta do in order to qualify himself to become a Buddha? 6. In his first life he acquires mudita, joy. The Bodhisatta, having blown off his impurities, as the smith blows the dross from silver, reflects. That man who has been reckless and becomes sober brightens up the world like the moon freed from clouds. Joy springs up in him realizing this, and he is fervent in his desire to benefit all beings. 7. In his second life he acquires Vimla, purity. The Bodhisatta has now removed all thoughts of lust. He is kind to all. He neither flatters the vices of men nor disparages their virtues. 8. In his third life he acquires Prabhakari, brightness. The intellect of the Bodhisatta now becomes as bright as a mirror. He fully knows and grasps the truths of Anatta and Anika. His only wish is for the highest wisdom, and for this he is ready to sacrifice anything. 9. In his fourth life he acquires Arsishmati, intelligence of fire. The Bodhisatta in this life fixes his mind on the eightfold path, the 4 contemplations, the fourfold contest, the fourfold willpower, the fivefold morality. 10. In his fifth life he acquires Sudurjaya, difficult to conquer. He fully understands the connection of the relative and the absolute. 11. In his sixth life he becomes Abhimukhi. In this stage the Bodhisatta is now prepared fully to grasp the evolution of things, its cause, the 12 Nidanas, and this knowledge, called Abhimukhi, awakens the most profound compassion in his heart for all beings blinded by avidya. 12. In his 7th life the Bodhisatta becomes a Durangma, going far off. The Bodhisatta is now beyond time and space, he is one with infinity, but he still retains Namarupa out of his great compassion for all beings. He is secluded from others, in that the lusts of the world no more cling to him than water to a lotus leaf. He quenches desires in his fellow beings, practices charity, patience, tactfulness, energy, calmness, intelligence, and the highest wisdom. 13. While in this life he knows the Dharma, but presents it in ways understood by the people, he knows he must be tactful and patient. Whatever men do to him he bears with equanimity, for he knows that it is through ignorance they misunderstand his motives. At the same time he never slackens his energy to benefit all beings, nor does he withdraw his mind from wisdom. Therefore misfortune can never turn him from the righteous path. 14. In his 8th life he becomes Akala. In the stage of Akala, or immovable, all strivings on the part of the Bodhisatta cease. He follows good spontaneously. Whatever he will do he will succeed in. 15. In his 9th life he becomes Sadhumti. This is the stage or condition of one who has vanquished and penetrated all dharmas or systems, all quarters, and does not enter time. 16. In his 10th life he becomes Dharmmegha. The Bodhisatta attains the infinite divine eye of a Buddha. 17. The Bodhisatta acquires these 10 powers which are necessary for him when he becomes a Buddha. 18. The Bodhisatta must not only acquire these 10 powers as he evolves from stage to stage, but he must also practice to perfection the 10 paramitas. 19. One paramita is to be the end of one life. Specialization in the paramitas must go stage by stage. One paramita in one life and not a little of one and a little of the other. 20. It is only when he is doubly equipped that a Bodhisatta becomes qualified for becoming a Buddha. The Buddha is a culminating point in the life of a Bodhisatta. 21. The theory of the Jataks or the birth stages of a Bodhisatta appears analogous to the Brahmanic theory of avatars, i.e., the theory of incarnations of God. 22. The Jatak theory is based upon the Buddha having the highest degree of purity as the essence of his being. 23. The avatar theory does not require that the God should be pure in his making. All that the Brahmanic theory of avatar says is that God saves his followers by taking different forms, although the God may be very impure and immoral in his conduct. 24. The theory that to be a Bodhisatta for 10 lives as a condition precedent for becoming a Buddha has no parallel anywhere. No other religion calls upon its founder to answer such a test.